says, all your waves and billows have crashed over me. Now we can take that in the negative way or we can take that in the positive way. But for me today, it's like I want to be overwhelmed in the tidal wave, in the tide, in the current of God's love. So many of us live in fear, thinking that we can somehow change what God thinks about us or somehow change God's love. But there's some concepts, some theological concepts. One, omniscience. God is all-knowing. One, omnipotent. God is all-powerful. Another one, omnipresent. God is present everywhere. And there's another one called immutable, meaning that God cannot be changed, that God is changeless. And I'd like us to apply that concept to the concept of God's love. God's love is unchangeable. So for you and I to think we can change God's love by our behavior or by our beliefs is ridiculous. Jeremiah 31:3 says, God says to us, I have loved you with an everlasting love. Everlasting. And it's God, 1 John says, that has loved us first. We haven't loved God first. God has loved us first. We respond to his love. So to think that we can change God's love for us is like a child thinking that if they throw a stick into the ocean that they can change the tide. We can't. So may we rest in that today, knowing that God's love for us is unchangeable. And may that bring rest for our souls, soothe our minds. And may we have that experience of it. That's what we're looking for, I think. We want to know God's love with our mind, but it's even more than that, knowing God's love in our heart and soul so that we get to that stanza in that hymn that says, oh, the deep, deep love of Jesus. Vast, unmeasured, full, and free, rolling as a mighty ocean in its fullness over me, underneath me, all around me, in the current of your love. That's where I want to live and where we can live, in the current of God's love, knowing that we cannot change God's love for us. It remains constant, unquestionable, unchanging for us. So may we get past our heads today and into our heart and soul and soak in this magnificent love of God, so our souls might cry out from Ephesians chapter 3, oh, how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ. And to know this love that surpasses knowledge, that we may be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God. So may you and I not be like a child throwing a stick into the ocean today, thinking that we can change the tide. May we trust, rest in the love that God has for us, underneath me, all around me, in the current of God's love, the everlasting love of God, unchangeable for you and for me. Yeah. So be it. Until next time, may you live all the days of your life.